Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 5. We will explain about effect and other individual difference. Member of group Dadang Anurudin, Zakaria Putra I.Q, Ahmdyana Dwi Ardianti, Muhammad Andriawa S Putra, and the last Atika Nur Fadilla. Personality and L2 learning. A second well-known model of personality was developed by Doctor and Mother, Merz and Brick, in a telling reminder that affect and cognition are difficult to separate. This model of personality has a strong focus on cognitive style, or preferred ways of processing information. Personality can be conceived of a stable traits or qualities in a person as more dynamic moods that are related to the cognitive processing of emotions, or even as predisposition that have been learned through social experience. In second language acquisition research, third personality models have been privileged so far, and three main such models and their concomitant instruments have been used.
Extraversion and speaking style. The personality trait of extraversion has always attracted the imagination of L2 researchers, but the results were initially so mixed that they led to disillusionment and avoidance of research in this area, making extraversion an unloved variable in the L2 field. Certain personality traits may favor interest in the study of an L2 and increase the likelihood of success. It appears that intuitive thinkers are likely to be attracted to the study of foreign language, perhaps because they enjoy the intuiting or holistic demand of working with words and meaning symbols, as well as the thinking of analytical demands of grammatical analysis. Rather unexpectedly, many introverts are also attracted to the study of foreign language. Some personality traits and speaking predisposition, concern for communication versus accuracy, appear to be related to speaking styles that are most directly measurable via fluency effects. Introverts and L2 speakers concerned for accuracy produce less fluent speech, searching for better lexical terms and repressing themselves more. Learner orientation to communication and accuracy. Related to the finding we have just discussed, Dewey and Frunheim in 1999 also make an interesting theoretical link between the personality trait of extraversion or introversion and concern for accuracy versus communication. They summarize the point in the following way: it is also possible that extroverts and introverts make consciously or unconsciously different choices in what has been called the speed accuracy trade-off, especially when they are under pressure. This is an old concern in the field that dates back to the 1970s, when such individual tendencies were first noted, and Krashen in 1978 connected levels of monitor under-racer and monitor over-racer to characterize them. Monitor under-racer tend to be overly focused and communication to the point of miscalculated risk-taking L2 behavior, whereas monitor overseers tend to be overly mindful of accuracy to the point of anxiety or reticence.
Foreign language anxiety. The variable of anxiety has been mostly studied in SLA in its own right, rather than in connection with personality. Simple. Some individuals report expressing intense feelings of apprehension, tension, and even fear when they think of foreign language. As Mestre and Gardner note, this propensity to feel anxious is specific to foreign language learning, like a consistent apprehension. Some college students report in relation to situations that call upon the use of mathematics, statistics, or public speaking. The two researchers that have been most central in expanding our knowledge about language anxiety are Elaine Horwitz in the United States and Peter McRae in Canada. Although both research programs are compatible and have produced convergent results, it is useful to highlight some differences. Foreign language anxiety is a measurable L2 specific active variable that is associated with a number of symptoms, including lower grades, lower proficiency, performance difficulty with the processing and learning new L2 material, retention, and L2 risk avoiding behavior. Willingness to communicate and L2 contact. Willingness to communicate, or WTC, is defined as the self-reported likelihood for an L2 learner to want to initiate communication in the L2 when given the choice to engage in or to avoid such action. The advantages of L2 WTC are L2 communicative confidence with itself is predicted by anxiety and self-perceived competence, and to lesser but nevertheless considerable extent by L2 attitudes. Such attitudes are shaped by frequency and quality of past L2 contact, but they also have self-willingness to seek and engage in future L2 contact.
Cognitive style feel independent and feel scientific. Cognitive abilities that each people aptitude profile and complex influence their capacity for learning language with ease, but people don't only differ in their cognitive abilities. It is a well-known fact in psychology that they also differ in the ways they prefer to put their cognitive abilities to use. For example, different people have different typical preferred modes of processing information, or ways in which they feel comfortable when preparing, remembering, and using information for problem solving and for learning. Cognitive or learning style are ways in which individuals prefer to put their general cognitive abilities to use. They are neither good nor bad, but simply bipolar dimension with potential strength and weakness on both extremes. A cognitive style in the investigate in SLA is field independence. Learning style profile. An encompassing mega model of synoptic ethnic learning style has been pushed by Ehrman and Lever 2003. Synopsis is related to the preference to rely on holistic at a clean perception of information, whereas explicit refer to the preference to rely on detail and system when processing new information. The most promising model of language learning style has been developed by Ehrman and Lever 2003, based on year of field pilot with adult language students in the U.S. Virgin Service Institute. It consists of a binary continuum, the synopsis ecthesis dimension.
Learning strategies. Learning strategies are conscious mental and behavioral procedures that people engage in with the aim to gain control over their learning process. Strategies can be cognitive, among which memory, related, and compensatory strategies are important, metacognitive, social, and affective. Strategy use appears to be greatly shaped by the curricular context and the specific task at hand. It, it has been relatively easy to describe how L2 learners use strategies. More difficult has been to establish a link between strategic behavior and actual learning gains, to demonstrate that strategies are not culturally biased, or to explain why poor strategy users differ from good strategy users only in how they use strategies in context, but not in the kinds or frequency of strategy they use. If styles are preferred ways of processing information, strategies are conscious mental and behavioral procedures that people engage in with the aim to gain control over their learning process. The future promise of an all-encompassing framework self-regulation theory. A recent alternative to the study of strategic behavior is self-regulation, a theory of how humans take control over their action, thoughts, and feelings in order to achieve their complex goals. A promising innovation in this framework is that the traditional emphasis on sheer frequency of strategy use is being replaced by an emphasis on the creativity of efforts employed to control one's learning process. In the face of multiple goals and ensuing environmental challenge, humans are capable of achieving the ends they choose to pursue because they are able to self-regulate their behavior. Moreover, it is not only action and thoughts but also feelings that are self-regulated, since coping with emotions and negative effects is crucial when goals become difficult or even unattainable. Thus, one novel advantage of self-regulation theory is that cognition and effect can be studied together in principled ways.
That's all from us. Thank you very much for your great attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.